flow chart is showing is how many referrals were made to CPS in the United States and what happens once a referral is made. So I do believe this was for 2020. And what we see here is that 3.9 million plus referrals were made to CPS. Of those referrals, a total of over 7 million children were involved, right? So, you can have a referral about a family that has more than one child, right? Okay. What happens then is of those 3.925 million referrals called into CPS, about 46% were screened out. So that means, you know what? There was not one thing in this call that indicated that it was an appropriate referral, right? That it just was clear that there was no need to follow up, that they can just screen them out. But that means that 54% actually got screened in and became a report. So the next step down, you see that means there were 2.12 million reports that got a disposition. And of those reports, so 2.1 reports, the vast overwhelming majority, so 67%, are coming from trained professionals who are mandated reporters, social workers, doctors, teachers, etc. 17% and another 16% are unclassified. So there's 17% non-professionals and then 16% unclassified. So unclassified means they just wanted to remain anonymous. They didn't say anything about who they were, right? 17% would have been neighbors, family members, people just witnessing. The next step, you see that of those 2.12 million reports, there were 3.145 million children involved, and they would either receive an investigation or an alternative response. Now, I'm not going to go into this next column about non-victims because that means that there are people in the household who were not abused, but they were part of the system because the referral had been made. So that's what those numbers are whenever it says non-victims, okay? I really want to focus on the victims part. So it turned out that there were 618,000 victims. Unfortunately, 1,750 fatalities. Of those victims, right, about half receive services. A post-response service, and I discussed what some of those were, right? You can have family services, prevention services, right? This is then showing us in the final bubble here that 124,000 plus victims actually got some type of foster care services on or after the date of the report, okay? Now, I want to go a little bit deeper into who is actually getting investigated or getting a response or a disposition. So for 2020, and these numbers are actually pretty low because children during COVID were not at school, they were not at the doctors, they were not at the places where mandated reporters would be seeing them enough to be able to identify suspected abuse, okay?